one of the worst. Honestly, I feel like I'm in denial sometimes and I can't accept some of the things that I've done. There is one thing that, I tried talking to a therapist about before, something that I had to do for a scene that was really rough for me. Basically, this guy had a bowl and he gagged me until I threw up into it. And then he pissed in the bowl. And during the scene, he asked me to drink it. And I didn't know how to say no. It was one of the most disgusting, foul scenes I ever had to do. And I'm telling a therapist this, and they don't even fucking know what to say to me.
Yeah.
No one can relate. No one fucking knows what to say about it.
Let's talk about something brutally honest. Why men should avoid dating emotionally and mentally damaged women, particularly those who have willingly placed themselves into extreme environments, like the adult film industry. What you just heard is not just a story of trauma. It's a confession of psychological devastation, with no plan for accountability or healing. Now first, let's be clear. No one is saying people can't recover from trauma. But the key factor is accountability and self-awareness, and unfortunately what we're hearing here is neither. What we're witnessing is someone who willingly participated in a deeply degrading act, not under duress, not trafficked, but as part of a job they chose. And after the fact, they want to frame themselves as a victim without acknowledging the role they played in their own decline. You see, this is the trap modern men fall into. They feel sympathy. They think they can save her. But you can't save someone who's not willing to save themselves. She admits she couldn't say no. That's not strength. That's not accountability. That's emotional passivity masquerading as helplessness. And guess what? That passivity turns into volatility in relationships. It turns into emotional outbursts, manipulative behavior, a warped sense of intimacy, and a need for chaos that she unconsciously brings into every relationship. Men, you need to understand something very clearly. A woman who has not healed from her past will use you as a crash pad for her emotional wreckage. You are not her therapist. You are not her rehab center. And no amount of good behavior, patience, or love is going to fix what she refuses to confront. If her trauma is that severe, and it clearly is, she should not be dating. She should be in intensive therapy, rebuilding herself piece by piece. But instead, what happens is, they date, and they destroy. They become ticking time bombs of emotional volatility. You want a family? You want peace? You want a woman who respects you, herself, and the relationship? Then you need a woman who's whole. Or at least a woman who's actively taking responsibility for her healing. Not someone who cries in therapy and blames the industry, the directors, the scenes, everyone but herself. Here's the raw truth. If she made those choices, and she hasn't taken real steps to repair the internal damage, she is likely going to destroy you with the same chaos she created in her own life. That's not hate. That's not judgment. That's pattern recognition. Men, stop thinking with your emotions. Stop trying to rescue women who are drowning in their own choices. There's a difference between a woman who's been through hardship and a woman who is the hardship. Know the difference and walk away from the latter, because your peace, your future, and your legacy depend on it.
They don't miss a traditional woman. They miss women with no way out. Men will tell you they miss the days when women stayed home, raised the kids, let the husband provide. And in a perfect world with a perfect man, that would be beautiful. A partnership built on love, respect, and security. But we don't live in a perfect world. The setup has left too many women trapped, not cherished, and controlled. What happens when she can't leave? When she has no say? When she's not staying out of love but out of survival? Because control doesn't always come from force, it comes from dependency. And the truth is, some men don't want to protect you. They just want to own you.
So let's talk about the romanticized fantasy of the traditional woman. You know, the kind that stays home, raises the kids, cooks, cleans, submits to her husband, and so on. The kind that a lot of men, especially those on the conservative or red pill side, idealize. The woman who supposedly offers peace, stability, and loyalty in exchange for a man's financial protection and provision. But here's the harsh truth. In today's legal and economic landscape, choosing a traditional wife is one of the most financially dangerous decisions a man can make. Because if, or when, that marriage ends in divorce, a traditional woman costs you more. A lot more. Let's break it down. A traditional wife is almost always a stay-at-home mom, or at least significantly disconnected from the workforce. She's not building a career. She's not developing marketable skills or earning income. Which means, when the divorce goes down, and remember, 70% of divorces are initiated by women, she walks into that courtroom as someone who's sacrificed her earning potential for the family. And the court rewards that. What does that mean for the man? More alimony, more child support, longer payment terms, bigger settlements. Why? Because the court sees you as the breadwinner, and her as the dependent. It's the exact same old-school logic that some men use to justify traditional gender roles in the first place. Except now, it's being used against you. And here's the kicker. If that same woman had been non-traditional, let's say she had a career, maintained financial independence, and contributed economically to the household, your liability would drop. She wouldn't need as much alimony. She might not get any at all. Her income would offset or eliminate your child support. The court would see a two-income household, and you might actually walk away with something close to fairness. So let's be brutally honest. The whole, "I want a traditional woman who stays home" logic only works if she never leaves. And guess what? That's a gamble you don't control. You can vet her, sure. You can have all the red flags on your checklist, do the whole high-value man routine, make her sign a prenup. But at the end of the day, if she wants out, she can walk. And when she does, your reward for picking the traditional path is maximum financial exposure. It's the equivalent of going all in at the poker table, except the dealer is biased against you, and the rules were written in the 1950s. Now don't get me wrong. This isn't about hating on traditional women or pretending non-traditional women are perfect. Not at all. Both types can betray you. Both can walk away. But when the non-traditional woman walks, at least she doesn't drag your entire wallet with her. And yet, the traditionalist crowd keeps pushing this fantasy like it's the safe bet. It's not. It's the risky bet. It's the expensive bet. It's the bet that only works in a society that enforces duty, shame, religion, and legacy. All things we no longer have at scale. So if you're a man today thinking about marriage, ask yourself this. Do you want a partner who can stand on her own, or someone who becomes a legal dependent the moment things go sideways? Because the system is not built for men. It's built for equity. And that means you pay for her life choices, especially if those choices were to opt out of the workforce and serve the home. That's not a partnership. That's a financial liability with a pretty face. And to the women pushing the idea that traditionalism is better for men, let's not kid ourselves. It's better for you. You get taken care of. You get a financial safety net. You get maximum leverage in court. But let's stop pretending it's safer or smarter for men. The math doesn't lie. The court system doesn't lie. The outcomes are everywhere. And until the legal system changes, traditionalism isn't a solution. It's a trap.